My wonderful, beautiful, amazing Pisces. I'm Gabriella from Gabriella's Vampire Tarot. For today, I'm going to be doing a general reading of past, present, future, 9-card spread. I'm going to be using the regular tarot deck, clarify with the vampire deck, draw a special vampire card, draw a vampire oracle, and then draw 3 yes or no answers for thee. But before I proceed with your reading, I just kind of want to add this little part, that I'm going to be, talking a bit more on April 18th, my birthday. I'm going to be presenting a birthday video on the day I turned 301 years old. But anyway, I'm going to be talking a bit about, my plans about the future regarding tarot and stuff like that. But I'm also going to be presenting a earlier, video somewhere towards the end of March. And I'm going to be actually, giving out my final big grand announcement of doing personal readings. Now, the medium we're going to be using, for this, reading stuff is Dropbox. So, of course, I'm going to be using emails and stuff like that. And I'm going to have a video, talking about how I'm going to go about that stuff and stuff like that. So the human advised me to tell you guys to first, look at Dropbox. Maybe you have to download it or upgrade it, update. I don't really know half of that stuff, but he told me that is actually a way better method of actually, for me to give you guys my personal readings and stuff like that. Pretty soon, once it gets maybe darker and stuff like that, or whatever the future holds and stuff like that, I might be doing some traveling, so then I can do real in-person videos and stuff, or in-person, readings, no videos. I'm just kidding. But either way, that's kind of what I wanted to mention, but let's get started with your reading. Okay, the general card is the Queen of Wands. Let's look at the first row, which is also your past. You start off with the High Priestess reversed, Queen of Cups, and Six of Swords. Okay, yeah, there is something that cause you to want to take off or take on a different, like route or transition of some kind. Because the thing is, normally, with the High Priestess upright, is considered one of the most powerful cards next to the Hierophant, because this individual has her upper book of knowledge. This person has, this wonderful, amazing type of knowledge and experience and stuff like that. But it seems like, since it came in reversed, it seemed like that there was a bit of a lack of clarity about something. Like, I wonder if you were maybe, deceived somehow, or there was something that happened, that caused you to feel like there was lack of intuition and lack of clarity of some kind. But you were loving and caring enough, because this is one of your beautiful cards, my beloved Pisces, that you pretty much just said, I'm going to be, heading off towards a different direction. Sometimes you just need to do that. If something just doesn't feel like it's working out for you, if something is just off, if something is just anything, you should always, know that you always have the free will and freedom just to be taking off towards a different direction. So because, just because, sometimes you feel like you're dealing with any kind of lack of clarity, that's what water is also about, because it needs to be clear, so then you can actually see stuff like that. But if it's just too murky for you, then you just think, okay, let's just head off towards a different direction, and as you should. And that's what I saw and find beyond impressive, my beloved, Pisces, man, woman, whoever's watching. Of course, you can have more water, a Cancer, Scorpio, or even more Pisces in your star chart, or you can have Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. But let's look at current times. You start off with Judgment reversed. Now, I'm not allowed to show that. Chariot. Ooh, this is Cancer. And the Eight of Wands. Okay. Yeah, the thing is, the transition from the Six of Swords, you're heading off towards a different location or a different route or path. I mean, it's not really, we haven't come across the Moon card yet, but yet with the Judgment reversed, it's kind of like your mind is also somewhat clouded, and, there's actually no announcement whatsoever. You feel kind of, you're still kind of stuck in the misty road of something, because it's kind of like, yeah, there's also no clarity. You feel like your head is in the clouds. You feel like that there's no anything. But yet, I still love the fact that you are incredibly determined, despite how there may not always be clear signs. And maybe you're just letting your beautiful, watery, intuition, more or less guide you, because this is, a beautiful, Cancer, card. It's about, determination, about saying, okay, we are determined on heading down that road. And you could also be, traveling overseas. You could be traveling to another city, state, country, wherever you're heading towards. But I do see that sometimes, it's like when you're about to embark on something, the fact that something just didn't work out in the past and you're heading off towards a different direction, especially, if you're just thinking, okay, we're just going to take off. No, it may not always be, clear, on where you're heading towards. But the thing is as long as you are incredibly determined and you're heading towards a different location is way better than feeling like you're stuck with the Eight of Swords, right? Well, let's just continue. In the future, you get the Six of Pentacles reversed, Page of Wands. Ooh, you get the Sun reversed. Now, I'm not allowed to show the Sun, but okay. The thing is, it's like, well, maybe, you could also be heading, towards, one-way street, or, you pretty much, feel like you're not really going to be gaining anything out of this situation. Or maybe, it's like, I wonder if there's going to be any kind of, like, maybe money, finance loss, or whatever it could be. But yet, I do see you going on this very passionate journey of some kind. And yet, the sun is still not, shining for you. So I feel like that, metaphorically speaking, that, or unless, you are in a misty area, is that you are kind of still in, like, some murky waters. You're pretty much just kind of heading towards a certain area, and you're pretty much, not, there's no clarity right there, about where it's heading towards and stuff like that. I mean, the thing is, it's like we don't know what the future holds. Whatever we do right now will impact the future. So, it's like I would try to find clarity as soon as possible. I mean, you are determined, and you're pretty much moving towards something. But yeah, the thing is with the Six of Pentacles reversed, that's kind of like also one-way street. It's kind of like, you're not getting, you're not getting anything out of anything. But yet, I do like the fact that you're just not going to give up on something, despite all that the sun is just not shining, or there's no shining moment for you soon. Well, I'm going to have to do some clarification, because I want to know exactly what's going on. High Priestess reverse, you feel like your intuition is up. But you get the sun. Ooh, a two suns Leo energy. My goodness. Okay. Yeah, the thing is, it's like, I think, that sometimes, your senses and, everything could be a little bit off, but it doesn't mean that, the sun is not there to kind of add a bit more clarification. Because sometimes, you could have you could have Leo somewhere in your star chart, but sometimes, the sun is actually, brighter than one's intuition, and it pretty much shines, and, clarity for you. So sometimes, when you feel like, you're just kind of, off of your game or something, the sun will still keep shining no matter what. Now, it doesn't benefit me at all, because we're in springtime season, and soon heading towards summer season. I mean, fall and winter are my beautiful beloved months, or, seasons, but either way, back to you. The thing is, it's like the sun will shine no matter what, and that could also be, your senses that are pretty much, helping you out in other ways as well. Because with the Queen of Cups, you get Judgment. Now, the second Judgment, the thing is, there was already clarity about, this type of decision, because that's why you took off. So, it's like, sometimes, it's like you go through, moments where you're just kind of thinking, okay, I'm kind of dazed and confused. I feel a bit lost. I feel, like I'm just stuck in the mist and stuff like that. But the thing is this was you already having a turnaround and already deciding on something, saying, okay, there's a grand announcement taking place. I'm leaving because I love myself enough to want to head towards something, different, or head down a different path, or choose a different career, or choose any kind of difference and stuff like that. So the fact is that you do, will have this beautiful, clarity card is wonderful, because the sun was, there in the beginning for you. Six of Swords? Three of Swords. Why? Okay. Yeah, the thing is, it's like, this could be, heartbreak because you have to leave. I mean, the thing is, or this choice could also, cause other people to be suffering heartbreak as well, or something. I wonder if there's maybe a divorce or a breakup, maybe with a Leo of some kind. I don't know. I'm not really getting it. I mean, But either way, what I'm kind of seeing, okay, it's like there could have been some kind of heartbreak, and maybe that's what could have caused you to want to, or, will force you to kind of, change and stuff like that, because afterwards you do get Judgment reversed, and that could also cause one to feel a bit dazed and confused, and also after any kind of, negative experiences regarding any kind of heartbreak. So, but yeah, the thing is, it's like, I hope you weren't fired, or that you weren't forced to have to leave something, and that could have also contributed to a Three of Swords, because this is also one of the cards I pulled for the vampire who killed me off. Yikes. Judgment reversed. Three of Grails. Okay, so the thing is, it's like, you are actually, celebrating something, even though it pretty much just feels like, well, I still have no idea why I'm celebrating the situation, because I still feel the effects of the Three of Swords heartbreak. But yet, you could also have, like support from friends and family. That's what the Three of Cups could also be about, is that you still have your friends and family to support you no matter what. And yeah, the thing is, yeah, you just also have to kind of, know that these are also just temporary setbacks, but knowing that, you should also always take good care of yourself. I mean, yeah, it just kind of looks like, yeah, something just didn't work out at all. I mean, I feel like, there's this lack of clarity, but to know that you do have other people around you, to more or less, lean on for support is very important. The Chariot. Fortune. Okay. You're determined with this fortune card. Congratulations, my beloved Pisces. What I love is that you could also have been offered an alternative fortune, a deal, the Wheel of Fortune, luck, whatever it may have been. And maybe that's what it could have also come from the Three of Cups. Maybe this was already kind of a pre-celebration moment, even though you pretty much just think, well, why do I even bother? Well, the thing is, whatever happened, pretty much, meant that you were going to get some wonderful fortune, and this is in the center of the entire read. I love that for my wonderful, beautiful, amazing Pisces, because the thing is, it's like, yeah, it's like, okay, it's ebbs and flows. One minute, you're on top of the world, everything is working out, and then next you just think, oh my goodness, what happened? Well, this is actually, a turnaround of actually being back on top of everything. So I just see so much fortune heading towards you, or you're going to be heading towards fortune. And the thing is, I think that the Three of Swords in the past is kind of like having to let go of something or having to leave. Maybe you have to relocate to a different job, country, or whatever it may be. And it could be extremely painful in many ways because, but the thing is as long as you know that you're heading towards something way better is, important to look at. Because for the Eight of Wands, you get the Prince of Scepters. This is like the Knight of Wands. You're heading towards something real fast with fiery, passionate determination. I mean, of course, what do the Sun and the Queen of Wands is their Leo cards. You could definitely have Leo somewhere in your star chart, or you could even be with a Leo, or you could be heading towards a Leo, or maybe, you've had a breakup or divorce with a Leo, or whatever it may be. But I do see, this very strong, fiery, passionate motivation on traveling somewhere. Okay, but I want to know why you got the Six of Pentacles reversed. Two of Skulls. Okay, the thing is, it's like the future, looks a bit uncertain because it means that you are going to have to be juggling responsibilities. And maybe, it's like you are, getting fortune and luck in current times and stuff like that. Everything seems to be working out. But yeah, sometimes, you could be dealing with a one-way, street where you have to be, doing a lot of, like hard work and stuff like that. And maybe, it's like you just think, well, I just feel like it's kind of, just not working out for me and stuff like that. So, but yeah, the thing is as long as you just keep, moving forward, because you do get the Page of Wands about embarking on this new journey. If you are going to be heading, or traveling or something, that could cause one to just think, okay, I'm losing out on money and I'm going to be, juggling many responsibilities as well. But with the Page of Wands, you get the Hierophant. Did you already get? Yeah, like I mentioned, the High Priestess and Hierophant are the most important cards actually in the deck. I mean, a lot of humans find that the Sun is the most important. Some people find Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, and Four of Wands, or even Fortune card. But the Hierophant is kind of also like your guide and saying, okay, it's like this is your rational, grounded, down-to-earth side, and you pretty much have so much confidence within you as well with the Queen of Wands as a general card, because the thing is when you're about to embark on any kind of new journey, whether it's relocating to a different area, job, country, state, home, wherever it may lead you. Yes, it's like, of course it can make you feel a bit, like off balance and feeling like, okay, I feel like I'm not getting anything out of it and I have to put a lot of extra hard work into the situation. But I think, it's like everything is just going to work out for you in the end. Because with the Sun reversed, you get the second Eight of Wands. Whoops, I was almost about to show that, but I can't show that. The thing is, it's like, okay, the sun may not always be shining, but I love how incredibly determined and strong and forceful you are. You're not just a goldfish. You're not a guppy. You're not a plankton. You are just a beautiful great white shark, or you could be, beautiful a blue whale, an orca, a dolphin, whatever, sea creature, or any other, placements. You could also have fire, earth, air somewhere in your star chart, wherever it may be. Queen of Cups, King of Swords, wherever it may be. But I do see, that you're incredibly still determined on heading out, even though it may seem like the sun is not really on your side. But deep down, your strength and courage is pretty much already backing you 100% all the way. Okay, special vampire card. Like I said, on top of the world. I see you on top of the world in the future, my beloved Pisces. Amazing, and I love this for you. So the thing is, it's just like waves. They go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And so one minute you just feel like you're kind of in the down moment and stuff like that, but soon enough you're going to be on top of the world. Man, woman, blonde, brunette, redhead, whoever, whoever this card, will more or less represents it anyway, but I just see that you're going to be heading out into this world and you're going to be on top of the world. Okay, what does Oracle have for my beautiful Pisces? Call for help. Reach out, need for backup, and admit your needs. And that's what I more or less see you doing with the Three of Cups. So the thing is, it's like, it's good to actually reach out to other people. It's good to network. It's actually, good to, maybe, just talk to your siblings, your parents, any person, any guardian, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, whoever, friends, co-workers, if and maybe even a boss. I have not seen the Emperor card yet, unless you do have Aries somewhere, of an Aries. But either way, it's really good, because this will actually help with clarity. Because the thing is I do see with the Judgment reverse of the lack of clarity is that it's actually good to reach out to other people. So it could offer you clarity. It could offer you, motivation, inspiration, and this passionate drive within you to want to keep moving forward. Because I see fortune for you. I see, that you're embarking on this new journey. I see all kinds of beautiful, moments taking place in the future. So, that would at least be my suggestion for my beloved Pisces. Okay, well, I'm going to finish off with 3 yes or no answers. Please feel free to pause this video and think about the questions you want to answer, because for number 1, you get a yes with the Fool. Number 2, you get a no with the Six of Wands reversed. Did you already get that one? And sadly, you get a no with the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So you get 1 yes and 2 no's for this reading. Okay, well, my beautiful, amazing Pisces, I'm going to have to leave it at this for today. But if this reading resonated, please feel free to join and subscribe to my channel. In a few days, I'm going to go back to 11 rings. So I'm going to go back and forth for now. But I just want to say how much I love you guys incredibly. Thank you so much for choosing me as your Vampire Tarot Guide reader. I love you guys incredibly. So please feel free to watch for the grand announcement of personal readings and think about that Dropbox thing, whatever it may be. And I just want to wish you all the best on your beautiful endeavors, your voyage, your quest in this world. So thank you all so much again. I love you guys.